Hi Leo, welcome to your love reading for July 2018. This is Elizabeth from channelguidance.com. Okay, so I've already shuffled the decks. Let's see what is at the bottom. At the bottom of this stack, you have the moon. So the moon has come up a lot in the signs that I've recorded so far. The moon can represent that there's something going on where you're really emotional, but can also represent a lot of confusion, a lot of uncertainty, maybe a lot of things that you don't know about your partner. Now the other deck, at the bottom of this deck, you have the Knight of Cups. So this does represent positive movement in your love life. This can be a proposal of some kind. This can even be a new person coming into your life, kind of a knight in shining armor energy. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with 9 cards from this deck. This is a love reading for the sign of Leo for July 2018. You have the Four of Wands. Love reading for the sign of Leo for July. 9 of Pentacles. Love reading for the sign of Leo. The Lovers. Love reading for the sign of Leo. 2 of Cups. Love reading for the sign of Leo. 6 of Pentacles. Love reading for the sign of Leo. Page of Pentacles. Love reading for the sign of Leo for July. 6 of Wands. Love reading for the sign of Leo. 7 of Pentacles. Love reading for the sign of Leo for July. The Tower. What's the most important message that Leo needs to hear for July 2018? The Ten of Swords. So the Ten of Swords does represent needing to move on. The key word is you need to move on. Now for some of you, it can be that maybe you need to move on from an unhealthy relationship, but it could even be that you need to move on from disagreements. You need to move on from the difficult cycle in your love life right now. We'll come back to this to see how it ties in with the rest of the reading. Let's start at the top. So at the top you have the Four of Wands, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Lovers. So you have these, really kind of beautiful energies here. The Four of Wands, which can represent marriage, children, or commitment leading towards marriage. And then the Lovers, this is a significant relationship. Again, this could be marriage or just, a long-term relationship that would play, an important part in your life. And then you have the Nine of Pentacles in the middle here. And I feel like you have to be careful when it comes to a relationship. I feel like there's something maybe really exciting developing in your love life right now. For some of you, it could be that you're about to meet your life partner. But I feel like, the Knight of Pentacles, this is a card about you. This is a card about you feeling happy with where you are in your love life, the decisions that you're making. And for some of you, there can be a decision. There can even be more than one partner. That was one thing that I was getting as I was pulling the cards. There might be more than one partner. Choose wisely. The Nine of Pentacles just means that you are, you have to do what's best for you. You are surrounded by love, by loving energy, and it can be 2 different people. Sometimes the Lovers does represent that you have to choose between 2 people. There's either, a relationship that you're in, or you're about to meet someone where it could lead towards marriage, or maybe you're already with that person. I feel like whatever it is that's going on in your love life, you're going to have to really think here, use your intuition, since this is a general reading. You have to do what's best for you. And at the end of the day, you have to make a decision that you can live with. You have to feel good about the decisions that you're making. And if you don't feel good about the decisions that you're making, that's probably why you have this card, telling you maybe, it's time to move on. If you feel like, you're being dragged down by your partner, if there's been, betrayals and lies, usually with the Ten of Swords, you have been betrayed in some way. You've been down, devastated. It's time to move on. But again, the energy that I get from these 3 cards is that you're surrounded by loving energy. You just have to do what's best for you. You have to put yourself first. Now, I see a little bit more of that in the second row. In the second row here, you have the Two of Cups, the Six of Pentacles, and the Page of Pentacles. So again, more loving energy. You have the Two of Cups, which is the soulmate card. These are 2 people that have a strong emotional bond. 2 people that feel like, they are soulmates, kindred spirits, very close emotionally. There is a message here that is very similar to what I was giving you on the first row. The Six of Pentacles is telling you it's time for you to get what you deserve when it comes to a soulmate relationship. And then the Page of Pentacles is telling you need to look closely at what's going on around you. The Page of Pentacles comes up when there's something that you could miss if you don't look closer, if you don't study your situation. For some of you, I mean, it can even be that you can do better than the person that you're with. I mean, only you know how happy you are, or how unhappy you are, or how unsatisfied you are. I mean, the Page of Pentacles is saying look closely, because it's time for you to get what you deserve. You know, you have all of these loving energies, the Four of Wands, the Lovers, the Two of Cups. I mean, it's obvious that for Leo, there is a strong relationship right in front of you. And yes, it can be the relationship that you're in, but, you know, if you're unhappy in that relationship, or if you're single, know that, you know, there's someone around you that is worthy of you. But I feel like, you have to really study this. But I especially feel this applies to people who are already coupled, where you're unhappy. Maybe your partner does not want to commit. Maybe they keep dragging their feet as far as commitment. You have to do what's best for you, because it's time for you to receive what you deserve. It's time for that strong connection. But I feel like there could be something that maybe you haven't seen, something that you're not noticing, patterns with the Page of Pentacles. You need to study the situation with your partner. Study your love life. Look at it very closely to see, what is it that you're not seeing. Now down here, you have the Six of Wands, which is the energy of victory. This is you overcoming all obstacles in your love life. And you have the Seven of Pentacles. So the Seven of Pentacles is very similar to this energy here from the Page of Pentacles. This is telling you that you have a lot of thinking to do when it comes to your love life. And sometimes, this also means weighing your options. I mean, so there can be more than one person. And for some of you, you may already know who that person is. But it could just be that there's someone out there, maybe you don't know them yet, but they would be a better partner for you. The Seven of Pentacles is just telling you to stop and think very carefully. And for those of you that take the time to do that, to really think, why is it that I'm not happy, or why is it that they don't want to commit? What's really going on in this relationship or in this marriage? The end result of this can be shocking. You have the Tower. So I feel like for those of you that take the time to really think about what's going on in your love life right now, there can be a huge change with the Tower. This is a shocking turn of events. But I feel like it only comes after you take the time to look at your relationship very carefully. For some of you, you may not want to look. You just may want to say, we belong together, we belong together, and end of story. But for others, I mean, there's a strong message in this reading that you need to look deeper. You need to look deeper. You need to look at your relationship or your marriage very closely. For those of you that do that, something radical changes with the Tower. This is a shocking turn of events. You do have victory here. With the Six of Wands, you can move past any obstacles that have been blocking you. Remember, you are surrounded by loving energy in this reading. The Four of Wands, the Lovers, the Two of Cups. There's a lot of loving energy, a strong energy of a permanent relationship. But you also have the Ten of Swords as the main energy. It's time to move on. You need to ask yourself, are you moving on from a relationship that's a dead end, or are you moving on from maybe disappointment or past hurt? Maybe an old flame that maybe really let you down and you've not been able to move on to another relationship. It's time to move on. Let's get a few more cards to see what the rest of the message is. Let's move this way. What other messages are there for the sign of Leo for July? You have the Wheel of Fortune. What other messages are there for the sign of Leo? The High Priestess. Messages for Leo. Four of Cups. So these three cards. So there's two major arcanas, and one of them is the Wheel of Fortune, which is telling you it's time for change. This can be a very lucky time for you if you're willing to grab it. Because remember, it's time for you to receive, and there's all this loving energy. This is a very lucky time for you, whether you're already in a relationship or you're looking. This is a time where your love life can take a turn for the better. But you have the High Priestess saying this can only happen if you really use your intuition, which again, brings me back to all this energy that you have, from the Page of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles, telling you that you need to keep your eyes open. You really need to look at your situation very carefully to see what is it that you're not seeing. What is it, you know, what is it that's missing in the relationship? What is it that needs to change? And the High Priestess is also saying that you also have to use your intuition, because it is time for a significant change in your relationship. It is time for movement. And then you have the Four of Cups here also. I mean, the Four of Cups is telling me that there is, you know, an energy of unhappiness around you. The Four of Cups is feeling unfulfilled. But you're bored. You've almost reached the point where you just almost don't even care anymore. And so I feel like, you know, the energy is there in July for that to change. And it could be that you're bored and you don't care anymore and you're depressed because it's time to move on from something. Maybe it's time to stop mourning someone who's no longer there, or maybe it's time to, you know, get past your differences. Again, the High Priestess is saying use your intuition here because it's time for movement. Clearly, I see here that there's something going on that's making you unhappy, but you are surrounded by a lot of loving energy. Okay, let's use the confirmation deck now and see what messages it has for you. What other messages are there for the sign of Leo for July? Five of Wands. What other messages are there for the sign of Leo for July? Ten of Swords, so that's a repeat card. What other messages are there for the sign of Leo? Justice. And what is the most important message that Leo needs to hear from this deck for July 2018? Three of Pentacles. So the Three of Pentacles, this is, you know, a card of hard work and effort, which means even if you are struggling, which there is a challenge here with the Five of Wands, this means that with a lot of hard work and effort, you can fix, you can heal whatever it is that's hurting your relationship or your love life. But this means that you have to try really hard and then some to make things happen. Now let's take a look at these three cards. They kind of seem to read like a book. The Five of Wands, this tells me that there can be a lot of disagreements with your partner. Five of Wands is petty energy. It can also be that you want very different things, that you're very different people. This is a card of just, you know, kind of bickering and really just kind of petty energy. And I feel like, you know, there could be another message here. I mean, it could be that, you know, you and your partner felt maybe there was, you know, a lot of arguments. The Ten of Swords, this is a card of feeling really betrayed, perhaps moving on. And then you get Justice, which does represent an apology. So for some of you, there could have been someone that, you know, maybe you guys broke up because there was maybe a lot of differences between you. Maybe you wanted commitment and they didn't, you know, want that at this time. Justice does represent someone trying to make things up to you. And there is a betrayal here. So for some of you, you know, there could have been someone that broke your heart. There could have been someone that broke your heart and is coming back around for a second chance, asking for forgiveness, trying to make things up to you. This could have been a relationship where you were very different people and you wanted different things. That's the first thing I get from these three cards. But it can also be, for those of you where, you know, this is not an ex, it can also be, you know, that for those who are already coupled, that there's a lot of disagreements in your relationship or in your marriage. The Five of Wands is just, you know, a lot of fighting, a lot of just kind of pettiness, a lot of bickering. And this is a repeat card. The Ten of Swords, you had it from the first deck. Here it is. Same card, different deck. There's a strong energy of betrayal, of being like let down by somebody and then needing, like, it's time to move on from this. It's time to move on. And you do have this energy of someone trying to make things up to you. Again, hard to say in a general reading. I mean, I feel this is a strong message. This is probably the most important thing you need to hear in this entire reading, is that it's time to move on from a betrayal, or it's time to move on from something where you felt really let down. It's time with the Ten of Swords. After a 10 is an ace, which is a new beginning. But you also have, you know, someone trying to make things up to you. Now, if you're not getting back together with that person where you're moving on, maybe you're moving on to someone else, justice just means that there will be justice for you. There will be someone new that will make you happy. Because remember, over here, you did have this message telling you that you have to do what's best for you. So if what's best for you is to move on, then that's exactly what, you know, needs to happen. Again, repeating message. These repeat messages are always really significant. you know, but I feel like for those of you where you want to maybe accept that person's apology, someone that let you down, someone, you know, that betrayed you, again, it's a double message. That's probably why the main energy from the second deck was the Three of Pentacles, telling you that this will take a lot of effort and then some to make it happen. So just looking over this reading, again, a lot of loving energy around you. Four of Wands, Lovers, the Two of Cups. I mean, for some of you, it could be that you've met your life partner, you've met a significant partner, or you are on the verge of meeting them. It's definitely, there's movement around your love life with the Wheel of Fortune. You're going to have to use your intuition, because there could be something that you need to see that you're not seeing with the Page of Pentacles. It can even be that you're not seeing the person that is maybe already around you. You really need to look deeper. I feel like those that take the time to look deeper, to really look at their love life, especially those that are already coupled and unhappy, if you really look closely, I feel like you will be rewarded by this. You have this energy of the Tower. So like, this can be a relationship that was really troubled, because I mean, I see trouble here with the Five of Wands, feeling incompatible. This can be a shocking turn of events. You know, everything is healed, because you do have down here with the Tower, you have the Six of Wands, which represents victory. But I mean, once again, you have the Seven of Pentacles, same energy as the Page of Pentacles. You have a lot of thinking to do, Leo. You need to very carefully weigh your options. I feel like maybe there could be some type of decision that you're on the verge of making. Don't jump into any type of decisions without really thinking about it. You're also supposed to be using your intuition with the High Priestess being here. You know what you have to do. I mean, I feel like there will be some type of decision that you're making, whether it's staying with your partner or maybe even choosing between partners. Because I did feel at the beginning of the reading that there could be maybe more than one person that you're interested in. Choose wisely. Take your time. For some of you, someone is trying to make things up to you. There could be an apology, but this could just be that, you know, it's your time to receive, so the universe is making things up to you by helping you meet someone that's worthy of you. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the partner spread. Okay, Leo, so let's get into your partner spread. What this spread is, it's just comparing your energies to your partners. I have a deck here to pull some cards for you. I have a deck here to pull some cards from your partner, and we're going to see what you both want. Are you on the same page? Do you want different things? What are the energies around you? And then I'm going to pull one card for you from this deck, which is all major arcana, and one card for your partner. So let's go ahead and begin. Okay, for you, what does Leo want as far as their love life for July 2018? What do they want? Interesting, the Devil. What does Leo want as far as their love life for July 2018? The High Priestess. What does Leo want from their relationship in July? The Two of Wands. What does Leo want as far as their partner? The Tower. Okay, interesting. Let's get some cards for your partner now. What does Leo's love interest want from their relationship in July? Three of Wands. What does Leo's love partner want from their relationship in July? Knight of Swords. What does Leo's love partner want from their relationship in July? Queen of Cups. What does Leo's love interest want from the relationship in July? The Emperor. Okay, and let's get a main energy for both of you. What's Leo's main energy in July? You have Justice, which was one of the cards that came up in the 9-card spread. What's the main energy around Leo's love interest? And they have the Empress. Okay, so let's start with you on this side. You have the Devil, the High Priestess, the Two of Wands, and then down here you have the Tower. So this is, you know, some kind of strange energy. I mean, the fact that you have the Devil and the High Priestess, you know, it seems like, you know, there is something with the Devil. This is usually something that's very kind of negative. I feel like there could be a lot of fears around you. I feel like there's a lot of fears with that Devil energy, a lot of uncertainty. I did see in your 9-card spread, I mean, you remember the cards that you have, I still have them here. You had really kind of loving energies. I mean, you had the Four of Wands, you had the Lovers, you even had the Two of Cups. That's a lot of loving energy around you. But it did seem like maybe there was a choice to be made. It kept repeating itself with cards like the Seven of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles. So I feel like here, I mean, for some of you, it could be that there's something like, you know, really troubling you about your relationship. This card repeated itself for you in the main spread. The Ten of Swords. The need to move on from something painful. Maybe there's been a betrayal or something. Something that's really hurt you with the Devil. Something, this is a major arcana. So that's something that even if you wanted to, you can't ignore it. It's in your face and you can't ignore it. It's there. But you also have the High Priestess, which means that you're really going to have to use your intuition when it comes to figuring things out. When it comes to, you know, your love life and what decision you're going to be making, because you do have two number twos here. Two, the High Priestess is a 2, and then the Two of Wands. The 2s represent choices. So I feel like there's a choice to be made, and that was something that I kept telling you in the 9-card spread. But I feel like, no, there's something really troubling you, like somebody lied to you, so you feel betrayed, you feel really hurt. You're going to have to use your intuition. I feel like you want to know with this energy of the High Priestess. She also represents secrets. That's something I don't always get that from the cards, but I'm getting that for some of you. You may want to know the truth of what's going on with your partner. And it could be, the energy of waiting and delays is here. It could be that, you know, you have to wait as things kind of work themselves out, but I feel like there's something that you have to do to get this energy out of the way. You also have the Tower, which also came up for you in the 9-card spread. And I'm getting the same message that I had then. I feel like as you make decisions, because it was right next to the Seven of Pentacles, if you go back and watch, this is you being really careful about your love life, paying attention to all the details, weighing your options. If you do that, there will be a significant change, and now that's popped up again. I feel like, you know, this spread here is telling you there's something really troubling or challenging around your love life. And I feel, once again, I feel like I'm repeating myself, but that's the cards that I pulled. I feel like you need to be careful. You need to be careful that you're making the right decisions. You need to be careful that you're using your intuition. And for some of you, you may want to put off a decision. This could be, you know, forgiving someone. Maybe somebody's pressuring you to make a decision, to take them back. With the Two of Wands, this is a card of delays and waiting. And then, you know, there is, you know, an explosive change here with the Tower. This is, you know, a shocking turn of events. It's almost like if you sit on something, something that's going on in your relationship, it actually works out in your favor as opposed to just jumping, you know, on board and saying, yes, I'll take you back, or yes, I'll forgive you. I feel like there is something to work out. Not only that, but look at the main energy that came up for you. Justice. So justice does represent an apology, someone trying to make things up to you, the universe trying to make things up to you. I'm pretty sure you had this in a 9-card spread. So seeing the Justice card with the Devil around you, I feel like, you know, it could be up to you whether you're going to forgive someone. And that makes perfect sense with this card coming up for you 2 times. It came up 2 times in the 9-card spread, the Ten of Swords. There's been some type of betrayal. You feel let down by someone, and it's time to move on. For some of you, the choice that you're making with these 2s that I see here could be the choice to either forgive or move on. I just feel like, you know, there's an apology. There's the energy of like someone trying to make things up to you. But there's also something like really toxic around you. It could be, you know, what happened in a relationship, or maybe what the relationship has become. It's on your side. So, I want to focus on that too. Because it's on your side, I feel like some of you, you've become really pessimistic about your love life. You've become really pessimistic about your marriage or your relationship. But there's a need to really like use your intuition when making decisions. And I feel like for some of you, you could be making a decision that will surprise everyone, maybe even yourself. It's time for you to get what you deserve with the Justice card. Something you were cheated out of, whether it's happiness, you know, finding a partner that truly deserves you. It's, you know, it's time for you to get what, you know, what you didn't receive the first time around. Now, as far as your partner, let's look at them. 3 of Wands, Knight of Swords, Queen of Cups, and the Emperor. So And this is also a matter of timing with the Three of Wands. I mean, the Three of Wands is an energy of waiting. So it's kind of interesting that you have the Two of Wands and they have the Three of Wands. So for some of you, timing has something to do with what's going on in your relationship. If your relationship is not moving forward, I mean, remember, this is a general reading, so you have to use your intuition about how all of this applies to you. There's an energy of timing on both sides. So I feel like as far as like timing, for some of you, you may be on the same page. You know, I feel, let's just focus on your partner. The Three of Wands, this is waiting, being really optimistic about what's to come. You know, and I feel like, you know, your partner is feeling pretty good that, you know, things will improve. With this energy of the Three of Wands, you feel there will be a better opportunity. And, you know, there's a lot of things happening here around your partner. You have the energy of the Knight of Swords, which is really unpredictable behavior. This is really kind of being really spontaneous, which is kind of the opposite of what we see here. If you've been in a situation where your partner has been waiting, maybe waiting for you to give them an answer, because I mean, that's what I was seeing on this side of the reading. It could be that they put you on the spot. It could be that they want an answer now. Are you forgiving? Are you still together? The Knight of Swords is, you know, really impulsive energy. So there's but it could also be, this is not an ex reading, but one thing I'm getting is if someone had asked for some space and some time, then they're coming around with this energy of the Knight of Swords. This is kind of backing off energy. There will be better timing later on. And then this is, you know, no better time than the present. Lots of things happening around your partner. Then there's the energy of a water sign. Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. So this could be your partner, male or female, someone arising, or this could be someone around them. It can even be someone that's influencing your partner. But, I mean, the fact that it's between the Knight of Swords and then down here at the bottom, the Emperor, I feel like this is your partner. I mean, even if they're not a water sign, this is a very loving energy. Very sensitive, very intuitive, very emotional, romantic. Because remember that you had very loving energy in the 9-card spread. A lot of relationship cards, but also, you know, struggles and decisions to be made. Here's one of the struggles right here. The Five of Wands. A lot of misunderstandings, a lot of bickering. And you did have the Justice card. I just saw it here. So this has come up for you again because it's your main energy of forgiveness. So, I mean, I feel like, I mean, you also have the Emperor on your partner side. So I feel like your partner, you know, this is the need to kind of grow up. This is the need for stability. This is the need to take control of their love life. So I feel like that is what they're doing. They're taking control. And it could be that, you know, they've been waiting for a perfect timing as far as a commitment. And now they're ready with the Knight of Swords. This is waiting and this is action. This is good to see on your partner side because it means that they're ready for stability. They're ready to take control of their love life. They're ready to take control of what's happening in your relationship. And things could change very quickly with the Knight of Swords. You also have that same energy on your side with the Tower. Things could change very quickly. But I still feel, now that I've gone through all the cards, I feel like if you're kind of going back and forth on forgiving them or taking them back or should I feel like you need to kind of like take your time in making that decision, because it could be that they're pressuring you here with what I see with the Knight of Swords. This is just moving, things moving really quickly. Now as far as their main energy, they have the Empress, the energy of having it all. So I mean, this just means that your partner does, you know, want maybe a marriage to continue, or they do want a relationship that leads to marriage. They want happiness. They do want the relationship to work. But I feel like, you know, it's time for them to really be in control so that this can happen. There's a need to kind of grow up, provide stability for you. Again, this is also, there is something going on here. I'm not sure what it is. There's a matter of like timing. The timing could be off, or there could be pressuring you as far as, you know, getting together or moving forward. I mean, it's just waiting and then action. So kind of see what that means to you. How does that kind of play into your situation? Okay, Leo, this has been your love reading for July 2018. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will speak to you again next month.